Hello, baby gangsters. This is Calvin, also known as Romer, and this is a Q&A/community video. I usually put the Q&A at the end or the start of another video, but I thought it might make sense to actually put it in the actual community video, so they're actually together like one big community bonanza. So basically what this will be is I'll be answering questions first, and then we're going into some of my patrons asking questions as well. Answering questions, I should say, for this month. The first question I got is from What's Your Damage? Do you have a favorite cat breed or like cats? This is a burning question on my mind. I love cats. I have 3 cats and I love them dearly. I don't really have a favorite cat breed. I just go for whatever is cute. And that's usually what's on my mind mostly. Is like, is it cute? Then it's a cat for me. What's the most enjoyable kind of video game is also what What's Your Damage asks as well. Example, open world, first person shooter, arcade style. Survival horror has always been my favorite style or genre of game. After that, it's probably JRPG, turn-based JRPG, and then action JRPG. Those are the 3 styles that I've always loved dearly. I think the channel though has also gotten me into the idea of like more visual novel style games, but I really love playing those games with you guys because it's fun having like the community aspect around it, if that makes sense. But I have played games like say like 13 Sentinels, but I would say that's like less of a visual novel and more of like, because it is like a more of a venture game in some ways, but it still is a beautiful, beautiful game. Best story I've ever played in a video game. What's funny is ever since you guys got me to the more visual novel side of things when it comes to like Ace Attorney, which I absolutely adore now, and Danganronpa, which like, you know, has different elements of a visual novel style game, but it is that like that in some cases too. Like I've been defending them like crazy as well online, like absolutely crazy, because I not only love the community aspect of those games, they're just amazing games, and I love the fact that like now every time someone badmouths a visual novel, I'm on like Twitter being that type of like, hey, hey, play him, then you'll know. Please answer the biggest mystery. This is from Malcolm Condé. Please answer the biggest mystery in FNAF. What is FNAF 4's crying child's name? Dawn. It's Dawn. Jokes aside, you intend to cover FNAF again for Halloween this year, as you've done in the past. It would be great to see you play both Sister Location and Pizzeria Simulator. They're both best story-wise. I don't know, because Raincoat Plus is coming out October 1st, and I do have plans to play that, and I'm really excited to play that. I think we might do like what I've done in the previous years, and do one horror-style video for Halloween Day. But I think Raincoat is a game I desperately want to play, especially since I have to find times for Echoes of Wisdom as well in some way. Hopefully you can find times for Echoes of Wisdom as well. There's so many games coming out this year. It's kind of crazy. What I will do, I think, with some of the Halloween games, because I don't want to like neglect it completely this year, we might do like a Nightmare Before Christmas style thing, where over Christmas we'll play a horror game, and maybe it might be FNAF games. We played FNAF last year. I think it was the FNAF Security Breach, which is a really cool game, and FNAF Rune. I actually thought they were really fun. And also then before that, the year before that, we played the first 4 FNAF games, which are also really great too. But yeah, just saying, I think we're going to be playing Raincoat for October. That's the plan I have. That's the plan I've had for a while. I'm very excited to actually like play that game too. But we will probably get around to playing some horror games. I don't know if it'll be FNAF, but I think that's probably like the frontrunners usually is FNAF, because they're games that I've already played on the channel, and we do have to plug up some holes as it comes to the FNAF series. We haven't played all the FNAF games. We really haven't. Thank you for the question, Malcolm Condé. The next question is from Dewpiker. What's a food that you were scared to eat, but once you tried it, it was really good? Or a game that you thought you wouldn't like, but actually enjoyed it a lot? First of all, food that I was scared of was unmelted cheese. I know I sound so weird. I used to eat cheese on pizza, and that was it. And then when I got older, I tried cheese again, and I was like, this is actually pretty good. Mayonnaise is another thing, man. I just thought mayonnaise like looked weird. I was like, that's such a weird thing to eat. Then like I had like mayonnaise, chicken, and cheese on a bread roll, and you're like, oh, this is like really nice. Because there's not many foods I don't like. I think the only foods I don't eat are mushrooms. That's just because of the texture. But everything else I'm really a big fan of. Like everything I try, I genuinely like. The only time I'm really not a big fan of food is, you know, when you like expect a taste of something and it tastes different. Like when I first tried sweet potatoes, I didn't understand what a sweet potato was. Like I think my mother just described it as like another potato. She's just potatoes, eat the potatoes. And I eat the potato and it's sweet and I'm like, it's rotten. But really like it tastes good, but you just have to be expecting a certain taste. And in terms of games that I thought I wouldn't like, Scarlet Nexus was my game of the year it came out. And I didn't expect it to be. what happened was I literally disregarded it because I was like, oh, this is just, I don't think I'm going to play this game. It doesn't look like it's up my alley at this stage. Just because it had, like, I don't know what it was at the time. I think it was because there were so many JRPGs releasing all the time that I was like, I have to skip some. I was like, I'll skip this one, right? Which was so silly because I love being wrong about this type of stuff. The same thing happened with Shenmue. What happened was I downloaded the demo, I played the demo, and I was like, holy hell. This is one of the most fun games I've ever played in my life. I bought the game. Right then and there, I went on the store and pre-ordered it, and it became my game of the year. Isn't that nuts? Like imagine like there's a time and space where I just decided to skip my game of the year. But yeah, Scarlet Nexus, or a game that I thought that I wouldn't like. Shenmue's another answer as well. I remember Shenmue when they announced the remasters and the Shenmue 3. I was like, this game is gonna be so outdated. It's so outdated. Like, it has to be. It's like, there's no way this game is gonna be good nowadays. And I played it, I'm like, oh my god, this game is perfect. Holy hell, this game is still perfect. And yeah, I was wrong, and I was glad to be wrong. Thank you so much, Debugger. The next question is from Cosmic Cat Love. Do you like reading books? And if yes, what are some of your favorites? I don't read books, but I read manga. I don't really read books. The manga I read, I really love 20th Century Boys. It's the best anything I've ever read. Not just manga, it's the best anything I've ever read. I'm currently reading Asadora. I've also read the Beck manga as well, because I watched the Beck anime. But yeah, like I read manga. I read the manga, if that counts. And I love, my favorite one is 20th Century Boys. That is my favorite story in the history of the universe. I love it so much. Thank you so much for your question, Cosmic Caplo. And the next question is from Phantom Vaporeon. What's your favorite Pokemon game, main or spin-off? My favorite Pokemon game is probably Pokemon Sun and Moon. I think recently, though, Violet and Scarlet and Violet is actually better than people made it out to be. I would say that it's in my top 3 for sure, if not my favorite, because the story of that is my favorite. So like when I think about it, vibes, probably Sun and Moon. Just overall, probably Scarlet and Violet. I loved that game, and I loved playing it on the channel. It was a really nice time. Probably the best story in Pokemon, in my opinion, in terms of characters. Because I think sometimes when people say story is good, sometimes they'll go like, well, it's like the big, gigantic story, this epic moment. For me, it's like, how did the characters react to it? And I think the characters like are so important in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So I really appreciate that story quite a bit. For the community side of things, I asked the question that was honestly, now looking back at the question, it probably wasn't great just because like, man, imagine asking me this question. I asked people what game makes you feel the most sad. What a downer I am. I'm like, what game makes you cry? Probably not the best question in the world, but hey, we have it. And we got a few answers to this because I think not everyone's gonna be like, okay, here's what makes me sad. Leanne says, Mother 3 absolutely ruined me and it's still one of my top games ever. They will never localize it though. Never played the Mother series. Earthbound, I played like a little bit of it right before Bloodborne release, but I think it might be really, back in 2015, it might be really fun to actually like get into Earthbound on the channel at some point. It was on the Let's Play list, then got removed from the Let's Play list, but that's just because we hadn't played it in like the 7 years that it was like talked about being played, and I didn't want to like mess people around thinking that it was going to happen tomorrow, because I kept getting comments, people like, where's Mother, where's Earthbound? And I felt really bad that like they were looking at the list going, Earthbound, when is it? It's been there for so long, so I kind of took it off until the time that I know I'm gonna be able to play it soon. So when you see it back in the Let's Play list, you know it's probably gonna be happening sooner than later. But yeah, like I've never played the Mother games, but they sound like everyone is really passionate about them, Leanne. Malcolm Condé says, for me it's Amori. Oh my god, the game is truly something special, such a bittersweet ending. It'll stick with me at the end of my days. Second and third place I give to Danganronpa 2 and Chaos Child respectively. VN type game, visual novel games tend to give me feels more often than not. Yeah, I think that's what I mean. Like when I played them on the channel, I've really adapted to them and they've really like made me super, super happy. But I love playing them on the channel more than anything because I get to have that community aspect. We all get to talk about them, and I get to like react to them with you guys. That's like my favorite time to play visual novel games. And I'll defend them to the end on the channel as well, all the time, or off the channel as well. Here's a counter question. What game did you have expectations to make you very sad? But just didn't hit as hard. It didn't hit as hard as you thought it would. For me, it's Nier Automata. That's a very interesting one. For me, Malcolm, I don't like. I'm trying to think of a game I thought I was going to be really sad at and didn't hit me as hard. Maybe The Last of Us, the first one. The Last of Us Part 2, like I'm a really big fan of. I think The Last of Us Part 1, maybe I was just in a different place in my life. Like my friend adores those games and he's a really good friend. and I'd love to play it again, but like with him on the channel, so like he can be like, well, look, maybe like this is his perspective, and like maybe I'll have a different perspective of it, because it has been over 10 years since I played it. I'm trying to think. What is this game that everyone said that was going to be super sad that I probably didn't feel as sad? Maybe Ghost of Tsushima as well. I felt so left out when I finished that game, and people were talking about the emotions of some parts, how they were crying at some parts, and I'm like, I just didn't feel it. You know, sometimes you just don't feel it when it comes to those type of emotions. You know, and I'm a big crier as well, so. But yeah, like I think that's probably the best answer to those that question. Even though like I have no disrespect towards the team at Naughty Dog or the team at Sucker Punch, they do a fantastic job. The next one is from Radish, and it says Undertale probably. At least it's the game that made me feel the most emotions, for sure. Undertale is another game that made me cry my eyes out. It's a beautiful game with a lot of like sentimental value at this stage. I think we all, if we played Undertale, know that like it is a game that like with its music especially evokes like this beautiful emotion. Like you can play a song from Undertale and I will start crying like almost instantly, for sure. It's just that type of game. It really is that type of game. Yeah, thank you so much for all your questions and all your submissions to the community video this month. I don't know what the next question will be, but it will show up on my Patreon at some point during this month, and we'll do this all over again. Thank you so much for giving your answers to the community video, guys, and the Q&A, your questions for the Q&A also. And I want to say thank you to TieFire2, Jamie Bull, Janet the Banana, The Ghost of Inazuma, Felicitas Felix, George Candelaria, Eskun, Yuld, Radish, Anusta, Shabata Bread, Malcolm Conde, Deathtrap, and Links Markey. And thank you to all of you for being so supportive. I'll see you guys very soon. Bye bye.